we have to do New Nightmare.
Yeah.
That's the one in the real world, and it's where I got the idea to do I'm Haunted 5 because I wanted to bring Elizabeth's character,
Yeah.
Genesis Brady, back from the I'm Haunted series, but she'd been long possessed and all this stuff. So I was like, well, I can't make her the main character again. So, and then something hit me, and I was like, what if I do the New Nightmare thing?
Yeah.
Takes place in the real world, and she's playing herself, and then she's back to the main character. And I even mentioned New Nightmare in that movie. So that's kind of where I got the idea. But it's a very inventive and creative way to do it.
Yeah. It's the first time it was ever done. Um, where a meta movie like this, where the principal cast are playing themselves, but fictionalized versions of themselves. And that includes the director and the writer, so Wes Craven, and it includes the Robert Shea, the producer from New Line. I mean, they even go to visit him in his office. They're playing fictionalized versions of themselves, but it's the first time it was ever done. And there have been so many things that have come afterwards that have built on that, like I'm Haunted 5, or The Unbearable Weight of Great Massive Talent, that one with Nicolas Cage where he plays a
Yeah.
fictionalized Nick Cage. All of those movies wouldn't exist if New Nightmare hadn't come out.
Yeah, it's just a cool way to do it. And it was refreshing. Basically, the people that made Nightmare on Elm Street, the cast and the crew, they started getting haunted by Freddy Krueger, the character that they created. And it goes it kind of goes back to its roots. I hate it when horror series say that because it usually means the new ones suck. But this
Yeah,
one does not suck. But they go back to it being kind of more scary. Freddy doesn't wisecrack in this one. He's more threatening. And Nancy, like Heather Langenkamp, is playing herself, but she's back as the main character. And there's not the kills aren't as imaginative in this one, but
right.
overall there is a sense of imagination to it. Where basically you get to see Robert Englund is, it's never we never quite see his point of view, but it's implied that he's being haunted by Freddy too, this kind of the
Yeah,
character that he played. And basically they're kind of saying that like Freddy became so famous that I can't remember how that they explained it, but basically he's so famous that some evil entity came into our world and
yeah,
took Freddy's form just because he's something that's in everyone's like collective subconscious.
yeah. He's part of the cultural zeitgeist. So this demon chose Freddy as the vehicle, and I really love what they did with him. Like he looks really cool. I like the organic glove. So it was less of a glove that someone's wearing and more of just finger razors that are attached to a bony, organic, burned, muscular hand. It almost looks like when the Marvel replaced Wolverine's adamantium with just his bone, and he had the
Yeah.
bone claws. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, Freddy looks cool in it, and
Mhm.
they have there's a scene near the beginning where they're filming the movie, and then the Freddy glove uh,
Yeah.
starts acting up on its own, and running around killing people. This is another movie. It only has 3 kills in it. I'm pretty sure. It's there's a couple that I think like the glove stabbed someone, and then
There's the first two guys. Yeah.
but then that's I think that turns out to be like a dream. So I
No,
don't.
I don't think so. It came out later that those two guys were killed. It was on a newscast.
They died, but they didn't die from what we saw because I think
Oh.
Heather woke up and that was just a dream.
Oh, okay.
And then I I watched it like a few months ago, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's in my mind there's kind of a debate about it because it's like they didn't die from that scene because she woke up and everything's normal, but then later on it turns out they did die, but it was because Freddy killed them off screen.
Oh, okay.
I I could be wrong. Don't take my word.
Yeah.
But I think there's the husband that gets killed, like when he's
Yep.
driving the truck. Then there's the callback to Tina's death in the first movie in
Yep.
the hospital room, and then what was the other one?
Doesn't John Saxon get killed by him too? I don't remember.
No, I don't think so.
I watched it yesterday and I already don't remember.
Pretty sure he does. Um, or maybe I am including one of the guys that gets killed in the G. I can't remember, but it's another one where they have too few kills for my liking.
Yeah.
I just wish that they had done more. It's still a very good movie. There's a lot of kind of quote scary parts. But
Yeah.
they definitely didn't go for the high kill count like a slasher movie. They tried to make this one more like highbrow, but and it was still
Yeah.
effective. I still love it.
They did a callback not only to with the Tina death of the babysitter, but they also did a callback to the bathtub again. Except it wasn't in a bathtub. It was the husband's car seat, and the glove came up with the finger glove came up, and it looked. They made it look like it was water. The seat was made of water, and it came up and it went towards his nuts, and it gave him a little tap, gave him a little tippy tap first, and then it came up into the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it was another nod to that bathtub scene again. There are a couple of scenes where they did a nod. They did the telephone tongue gag again at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were trying to show that like basically Heather's being stalked by someone that sounds like Freddy. She's getting
yeah,
strange phone calls. She assumes that it's just some like obsessed fan or
yeah,
whatever. But things start escalating, and again, it's something to do with her son. She has a young son, and he's starting to be like tormented by Freddy. And he
yeah.
says that Freddy's coming to him like underneath his covers at night, like through his bed, and it turns out that this is real. So
Hmm.
Heather goes into the under the son's covers to go rescue him down into Freddy's weird. It's not really a dream world this time. I guess it's some
Yeah.
dream world, but it's some sort of fantastical world where it starts to be like Hansel and Gretel. They get into the leaving a trail behind and
A
shoving
trail
him
of
in the
sleeping
prints.
pills that she's swallowing as she goes. Like, you took way too many of those.
But it also it gets into other kind of issues that they've dealt with before where so she goes to the hospital and the nurse there is like your kid is acting crazy and
Yeah.
then she's like basically implying that she's a bad mother and the nurse is like have you shown your kid your Nightmare on Elm Street movie? And she's like, no, of course not. But this kid just knows all about Freddy and he's acting weird and um, yeah, it's kind of like part two in that it's the odd one of the bunch, but it makes more sense because it's not canon to the rest of them.
Right.
It's its own thing, so it makes sense that the vibe and the look of it and the way Freddy acts is all very different.
And one of those nurses is a cameo by a young Lynn Shay before she did all the Insidious movies. So Robert Shay's sister,
Well, she was also
who
in the very first Nightmare on Elm Street. She played the teacher.
did she? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't even notice that. Oh,
yeah,
geez.
she's like super super young. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's crazy. And the kid, the Heather's son in this one, is the little kid from Pet Cemetery. And
Yes.
he gets to crack out his evil kid voice again because you know that evil kid voice that he did at the end of Pet Cemetery where he's possessed. He gets to do it again in this movie in spades. He gets to do it a lot. It's fun.
I remember when this came out, and my friends were like, "Oh man, that kid must be so traumatized having done this movie." And I was like, "Nah, I bet you he had a lot of fun. Like, you know how movies are
Oh
made.
yeah.
Like, he sees the people all around him acting normal, so I bet you he had a blast doing it."
Oh yeah. And his parents are going like this afterwards with the money.
Yeah, exactly.
That kid's doing conventions now.
Is
I
it?
saw him advertised at a
Oh, is it?
convention.
I can't remember if it was him or a different child actor I looked up, and other than the few, like they were famous for that brief period being a child actor, and then they never acted again. I can't remember if it was him or someone else like him, but um,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he's still
Gage something is
acting.
this kid's name. Yeah.
Yeah, some of them, their parents forced them into it. The
Yeah.
second they have a bit of autonomy, they're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I hate it.
Hmm.
I don't know what this kid's story is, but he did a good job, and yeah, he got that creepy, and we got to see Heather Langenkamp again, and we
Yeah.
could see like all the people from the first movie. We got to see Robert Englund out of makeup, and we got to see
Yeah.
John Saxon like playing himself, and then yeah, we got to see like Wes Craven and other people
Yeah.
in the movie. It was very cool.
And apparently, Robert Englund, like he is in this movie, is a painter in real life. But the painting that he does of Freddy in this movie was not by him. It was by a set designer.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I wonder if he
Yeah.
wanted to do it, and they're like, "Nah, just let us do it."
He does do paintings of Freddy, though, that he sells for charity or something like that.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess they could have given him a chance, but yeah, no such
Maybe
luck.
he didn't have time. Who knows? It was a really good painting.
So how would you compare this to the other ones?
I think that it probably comes in at an 8 out of 10 for me, just because of the concept, because it was the first time it had been done, and it was really, it was really cool. When I went into watching this movie, I recall renting it after I worked or something like that. I used to work in a restaurant when I was a teenager, and it was next to a Blockbuster. And so I would go in and I'd rent a movie on my way home from work, and then I'd be up all night because, how the way teenagers are. I rented this one and I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was just another Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And it ended up being really, I really liked that concept. I thought it was really cool. I still
Yeah.
think it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely holds up, and especially after, like, there was a lot of backlash after part six, Freddy's Dead, and everyone hated it, and it was just so goofy and Looney Tunes,
Yeah.
um, that I think people just like the fact that, hey, they're taking this material seriously again, rather than just running off the rails with it. They're like, let's pretend Freddy's actually evil and scary again, and it is kind of a more serious movie. So yeah, overall, I think it's a very good installment.
Yeah. And I mean, the whole trick with where you're looking at a script of something that's actually happening right now has been done so well in so many movies since they did this for the first time. Like
Yeah.
there's episodes of Supernatural where they're reading what's happening as it's going on and all that sort of thing. It's really cool.